Hello and welcome back to another episode of This Is Portsmouth, the show that explores the best parts of the UK's only island city, Pompey.
We have stacks of content for you today which we cannot wait to show you.
My name is Josh.
My name is Chloe.
And enjoy the show. Thank you for joining us in this packed edition, and if you've not seen the show before, you're so welcome. You might not be surprised, but this show is all about Portsmouth. We look at topics such as education, art, community, sports and much, much more. And you can view our previous shows over on our YouTube channel at CCI TV, This Is Portsmouth.
And you'll see that we've covered topics such as e-scooters, local family-run businesses, and the list goes on and on. But here is what you can expect to see in this show.
Yes, who is behind keeping the People's War Memorial looking crisp?
We hear about the Reclaim the Streets movement and the charities that are working alongside the cause.
We find out about the change in the ways the streets are lit.
We hear about the new campaign to find all the ghost signs.
What are ghost signs, Claire?
We'll keep watching and you'll find out on that
I
one.
thought you might have said that. We talk to the pub owner who supplied meals to the vulnerable and elderly throughout the lockdowns.
And we even have a sweet treat coming up for you, so make sure you stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, I really can't wait for that bit. Coming up next, we have the story behind the man who has been keeping the People's War Memorial well looked after.
Willie Goldfinch is the caretaker of the memorial and has many stories to share, as we find out now.
Where you hear people say, but they've got their garden shed. Well, this is my garden shed. I have to come a few miles to get to it, but it's here. My name's Willie Goldfinch. Why I get asked this question quite a lot, why I built it. First and foremost because I'm British and I'm proud of it. And I guess that's the main reason. Way back in October of 2009, I was jogging along that footpath you're standing on from Southsea. And I had earphones in, and it was 8 o'clock in the morning, and the 8 o'clock news bulletin came across and talked about another couple of our soldiers slaughtered in Afghanistan. And at that moment, I jumped down into the embankment there and started building the memorial. And that was 15 years ago. I've been here ever since, twice a day. It initially was built as a tribute to the serving men and women of our British forces, who at the time were at war in the Falklands and Iraq. However, as time has grown on, it's open to everyone. It's a place where anyone's welcome to come and reflect on whatever they want to reflect on and ask of life, whatever question they want to ask of life. It's a tranquil place. Before this virus came about, all the coaches that come into Portsmouth, the tourist coaches from Liverpool, Manchester, Scotland, they all would stop across the way here and come over and picnic here. It's actually become a part of their tourist programme. Before I started this here, this was just a barren piece of land full of rubble. But they turned nothing into something as nice as this place that's attracted to other people, to make them want to come to the place. Well, yeah, I feel humbled by that, you know, that I had a part to play in it, you know. There's a lot of people involved in it now. The ashes of 32 loved ones is around the trees here now. Not least my own wife, who's beneath the palm tree down there. And, there's countless number of reasons why you've got to keep it looking nice and proper. But we have a great, great Portsmouth people are very generous and kind in that respect. And they do put donations in the box on a regular basis. And that money's used to buy the bulbs and buy the wood for the chairs and things, you know. And the paint, etc., you know. You know, a tin of paint, outdoor paint, white paint, is 30 quid. I put in 5,000 daffodil bulbs this year. And as you see, they're all down now, but I've also put in 5,000 gladioli bulbs, which will be coming up to be in full bloom around June or July, you know. Yeah, so, but yeah, we get quite a few donations from the public, and there's always people there to help, you know. During the time I've been building this memorial and maintaining it. And many times and in many ways, I hadn't really been the builder. I've just held the shovel. Someone else inspired me.
Willie Goldfinch is a truly inspirational character, and that place looks well worth a visit, doesn't it, Chloe?
It really does. It looks lovely.
Now, you may have heard about the shocking news recently about the disappearance and death of Sarah Everard. The tragic news has hit the hearts of so many around the UK.
April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and we can't stress enough about the importance of reaching out if you have been affected by the issue in any way.
This next VT discusses these issues, and some viewers may find some of it distressing.
Research finds that 97% of women in the UK aged 18 to 24 have been sexually harassed. I'm Melina Green, I'm the current Miss Dorset, and I also run an Instagram page called Text Me When You're Home. When the Sarah Everard case came about, it really hit home with everyone, I think, because that could have been you, it could have been your friend, it could have been someone in your family. She was just walking home. Me and a fellow Miss England girl decided that we would start Text Me When You're Home. So that's where we talk about things that happen to women, sexual assault, abuse, and we're making a conversation about it so that people feel more comfortable talking about it and it's not such a taboo anymore. I think a lot more women are standing up for themselves now that there's been more recognition and it's become more like on the forefront of media and social media. It's really important for women to have a safe space to talk about what's happened to them. And it's not for everyone. Obviously, some things that women go through is really traumatic, but I think having a space where they see that other people have gone through the same things can actually give them a bit more confidence and make them feel less ashamed, as a lot of shame comes with these situations. There's quite a few different charities. The one that I know the best is the Holy Guard charity. They go into schools to help teach about healthy relationships and domestic violence and the indications of that, which I think is really important as children and just throughout all the ages during your like school career, I guess. People do get into relationships and you don't always realise the signs that it's an abusive relationship, especially when it's done behind closed doors. So I think volunteering is a massive thing. So volunteering to go into these schools, do these workshops, help educate people, share their posts and what you know about them on your social media, as social media is such a great platform to share things that you know. And also donating. Obviously, as a charity, they need funds to be able to do all of this. I think it's really important just to start normalising talking about crimes against women. There are a few statistics where women are 4 times more likely to receive sexual assault compared to men, which is shocking. I think we kind of know that now with everything that's been going out. And 80% of women in the UK have experienced sexual assault, and less than 1 in 5 victims report rape to the police because they're afraid of embarrassment. But if you feel like you're strong enough to do it, you can stop that from happening to someone else, which I think is really important. The government have said they would double their Safer Streets fund to 45 million, which will provide better lighting and CCTV. If you ever feel like you need to talk to someone or just get some help, please head over to my Instagram at Text Me When You're Home, and our messages are always open and we're here to help.
The things they are doing to help as much as possible are really outstanding, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And if you or someone you know has experienced this, we encourage you to call the numbers that are on the screen now.
Yes, worth saying that there is always help out there. Now, if you've been walking around Portsmouth, you might have noticed something different. So let's see how the council are making our streets safer.
When someone says Portsmouth, what do you think of? Your train of thought may jump immediately to the Spinnaker Tower, or perhaps its maritime history. But there's one thing which surrounds Portsmouth that you most likely never pay attention to on a day-to-day basis. Not the sea, but the street lamps. With some lamps dating back to the 19th century, some of Portsmouth's street lamps are sentimental to its history. It was announced back in 2018 that the Portsmouth City Council would undergo a programme which would aim to replace all lights with LED bulbs, and since starting 3 years ago, around 15,000 street lamps in Portsmouth are now LED. It is thought that the council is already saving more than £400,000 a year on electricity since these changes. Other benefits also include reduced light pollution as well as a reduction of carbon dioxide emissions. Martin Levers, who is the Assistant Director for Regeneration at the Portsmouth City Council, has already said replacing heritage and bespoke lighting with LED technology is the final stage of a massive activity to reduce the cost and environmental impact of lighting in Portsmouth. Overall, the switchover has generated a positive response from some locals. However, others aren't so happy about the previously released statement.
These things have existed in Old Portsmouth for many years now. By changing over to LED, they would be ignoring any historical significance. In my opinion, this is something which they should not be tampering with. No matter what their reason is, these lamps should be preserved and kept as they are.
Especially in an environmental sense, I think the less air pollution and light pollution there is will be very good, and it may encourage other cities to do a similar or the same thing, and then Portsmouth is then the leader for that, so it puts the city at a better advantage as well. Also, it's very good in terms of costs, it's more cost effective.
I can't believe that the council are going to waste some money and ruin the look of these things when actually there's nothing wrong with them. They just seem to be throwing money over it when they don't need to. I understand if some of them are broken, then you can replace them, but I just can't understand just because someone has decided that all the lights in the town need to be LEDs.
I don't mind it. In fact, actually, I think it's really good for the environment. There's going to be a great positive impact on the environment, and actually I don't think they look that much worse. I think all in all, there's no reason not to make the change, and for the money that it would save Portsmouth Town Council, well, it seems to be a no-brainer for me.
Personally, as a mum, I've got a 6-year-old child, and obviously as she grows up, I want her to obviously be on well-lit streets and feel safe as a woman growing up.
I think it's really great that they've made the change over to LED streetlights in Portsmouth. Firstly, because it's a lot more environmentally friendly, which is really great because this is such an important issue. They're also a lot noticeably brighter, so I feel a lot safer when I'm walking home late at night and it's dark.
Despite the council creating unrest for some locals, the authority has already begun the final phase of the switchover, with reportedly 1,000 street lamps left to swap over to LED. Work to change the historic and bespoke lamps began in March earlier this year and is set to take around 7 months to complete. Will we be waving goodbye to some of Portsmouth's heritage, or will we be welcoming Portsmouth into its new age of its cost-effective and energy-efficient lighting? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
You know, I have actually started to notice some of those new LED lamps around. I think it's a lot more modern and definitely the right step forward.
Yes, I agree. We'd love to know what you think about it at home. So head over to our social media and let us know your opinions on Facebook or Instagram with the handle This Is Portsmouth. Now, remember at the start of the show, we said we had a sweet treat. And we were talking about, well, right here, having 2 caterpillar cakes in front of us. And we have the fantastic job of trying them.
I have been looking forward to this part.
As have I, Chloe, all morning actually. Now, Chloe, we've got 2 caterpillar cakes in front of us.
Yep.
Hot topic at the moment, caterpillar cakes. We've been given the job of tasting 2 of them, naming them both, justifying our names for them, and then deciding which one we prefer. So you tuck in, but I just want to ask what you'd call your cake.
I think if I was going to give a caterpillar cake a name, probably have to be Lucy.
Yeah? Why Lucy?
Because I've got a friend called Lucy, and she recently bought me a caterpillar cake to cheer me up. You can always be cheered up by a caterpillar cake, can't you?
You absolutely can. I didn't think about this. You need to find yourself a friend like Lucy. I'd call mine Matt. Now, I'll tell you why. Maybe this is too much information. Every birthday growing up, I had this real close family friend called Matt. And every birthday, I'd go round to his house, and we'd have a birthday tea, and every time we'd have a caterpillar cake. And so, this is in memory of Matt, not because Matt's dead, but because Matt has moved to Chester, and I can't see him anymore. So I'm calling my cake Matt. So we've got Lucy and Matt, haven't we?
Yeah, Lucy and Matt.
Have you had a chance to try them both yet?
I have.
I would say that the appearance looks a little bit different.
To be fair,
Not between the cakes, but between my cakes and your cakes.
yeah, mine, clearly I cannot cut a piece of cake. You did a much better job.
Thank you very much.
But have you got a favourite?
Well, I haven't tried Matt yet. I've only tried Lucy.
You've only tried Lucy.
But what I would say is that growing up, I would always want the face or the feet.
The face and the feet are the best bit.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they really are.
What's your favourite then, Chloe?
I think I would have to say Matt's my favourite.
Yeah,
That
I
one
would
over
absolutely
there.
agree. I would agree. Now, let us know at home if you have any fun or interesting names that you would give your caterpillar cake.
I think I will definitely be having some more later after the show.
I thought my link was finished, Chloe, so you might have to do this link for me.
Okay, so now we are going to hear from Tim Sherman Chase, a photographer who has been taking photos of old painted adverts.
These types of adverts are known as ghost signs, and they are much older and more nostalgic. So let's see what it's all about.
Hi, my name's Tim Sherman Chase. I'm a software engineer and I've lived in Portsmouth for about 5 years. I started becoming interested in ghost signs when I moved to Portsmouth. I hadn't seen them around in other places I'd lived, so I started spotting them and photographing them just as I noticed them. Ghost signs are painted signs on buildings that were popular from sort of the 1800s up to about 1960. The narrower definition is they don't match what the building usage is. So they've been painted on, they've been abandoned, and they don't match the building purpose now. They give a bit of a hint in the history of what the building was or the local activities in the area. When I started photographing them originally, I was looking around for photographic subjects. I'm quite into photography as a hobby, and it's one thing that's quite common around the city. The Echo Radio ghost sign was an interesting case. It was just a regular, I think, end of terraced house, and the side of their the cladding on the building just came off the side of the building and revealed part of this sign. They decided to investigate, and they took down the part of the cladding to reveal the brickwork and the original coating, and it was listened on Echo Radio. And I think that they were a manufacturer of wireless radios up until about 1960. The Ernest Smith cabinet makers, they were one of the first tenants in the clock tower on Castle Road. It's a very interesting shopping neighbourhood, but a very notable building. My favourite sign was probably the one I'd taken in Gosport. It was for a furniture maker, I believe, but it was painted on a wooden door for a sort of warehouse shed, and the paint's peeled up in a really interesting way, so it just looks kind of a really cool photo. We've lost so many signs already, and the ones we have are being lost to fading or usage or demolition. I don't have a strong feeling. They provide an interesting photographic subject now. I'll have to find probably some other photographic subject going forwards. I probably think it's quite good for them to sort of fade out over time, because that's part of their appeal, is their sort of transitory nature maybe. They add a bit of character to the buildings, they're quite interesting, so who knows.
If you've seen any around Portsmouth or would like to get involved within the campaign, then you can get in touch on our social media through our Facebook and Instagram.
Now, Andrew Harvey is the owner of the Duke of Buckingham pub, and during the coronavirus pandemic, he has been tremendous and definitely deserves some recognition.
The service evolved itself a little bit more, that people were part of the family.
It's been a very interesting, humbling experience, I have to say.
It means the absolute world, and it's not just for me. I know that my family are greatly relieved.
Yeah, Andrew Harvey, landlord to the Duke of Buckingham pub in Old Portsmouth. It was quite emotional because 9 years that we've been here, we do tend to offer a more personal service, and the people that use us, and to see that just wrenched away from you, it was pretty upsetting, really. We linked up with Portsmouth Cathedral, and they do a lunch club, and they were doing it every Tuesday. The idea sort of came on, well, if there's 50, 60 people that are having a lunch every Tuesday, is there any scope for us to offer that as a continued service? The uniqueness of it is it's cooked in the fresh ways they would cook at the cathedral, and we would deliver it as part of the service.
I've been acting as the van driver for the delivery of the community meals.
I'm a local to here. I volunteered, my wife volunteered.
The first 3 months we were, I would say, overwhelmed.
We started off doing about 180 meals a day back in March and April, and that's tailed off a bit.
There's a chap called Mike Buchan, and he's a university lecturer. He's a regular customer to us anyway. They had photocopiers and things like that, so he would produce the menus, and they would print off like 1,000 copies. And they had volunteers that were foot soldiers for us, and they just went through letterboxes. People that were with us 15 months ago are still with us 15 months on. We're actually a lifeline. I guess the most devastating part of it is we lost 8 clients to COVID. Sorry. Yeah. Leave it.
Do you want to take a minute?
Yeah.
Phil and I have been getting together on the van and delivering to these lovely people we meet who are taking the meals, and we got to know them quite a lot. We talk to them, find out about them, and it's really moving to see people appreciative of what Andrew's done for them.
A lot of the people we deliver to have home care help, and some are not very mobile at all. We've met some extremely lovely people over this last year.
Well, my name's Sue. It was a lonely time if you are on your own.
She really is an extremely lovely lady. You know, we've been able to chat to her through highs and lows.
You find out more about people and full of admiration for them, really.
We've made friends with the Duke. They're almost like part of an adopted family.
And we've sort of built up a relationship. In some cases, we were the only people that they would see during the day.
Quite often it would just be day after day after day of me and the clock ticking every day. But I know how much they matter to me. I think all I might say would be, Andrew, please can we have mushy peas back with fish and chips?
If anybody's looking to volunteer any of their time, then the best point of reference is our Facebook page, web page, and then there's the good old pub number. Always ring us up and see what we got, see what we're doing. Initially being a need, now it's probably part of their lifestyle, I would hope. And I do believe we made a difference.
We keep on winning.
It is really lovely to see that Portsmouth has some great people out there.
Yes, it is indeed, especially over lockdown. It's been difficult. Have you been helping anyone out over the last year?
I have here and there. Been helping my grandparents with their shopping.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Taking that for
We
them.
need more Chloes in the world. Anyway, if you at home have been involved with your own charity work or fundraising, we would love to hear from you.
Even if you have helped out loved ones or anyone in need during these hard times, please still let us know on our social media pages.
So that is it for today's show. We want to say a massive thank you to all our contributors and to you at home for watching.
If you've engaged with our social media, we can't wait to hear from you on our next show.
Remember, you can get in touch and in contact by either messaging us on Facebook or tagging us on the Instagram or with the handle @This Is Portsmouth TV, and your comment may even be part of next week's show.
We also have our own YouTube channel, CCI TV, where you can catch up on shows you've missed and view your favourite part of the show again.
If there's anything you would like us to explore for next time, or you have a story that you think is perfect for the show, then please email us at tisp@port.ac.uk.
We have had a great show and we hope you have as well.
Unfortunately, we have to go, but it's been a great show. We wish you a cake-tastic day.
Thank you for watching.
This is Portsmouth.